Shalom, everybody, and welcome to TorahTrue.com and RelatableTorah.com. We are now beginning the third class in the series, The Testament of the Baal Shem Tov, meaning the foundational principles of the teachings of Chassidic philosophy and conduct. I am your host, Rabbi Ben-Tzion Saloff, and we are now at chapter 5, which we will begin with binding ourselves, our thoughts above. Now, there's something something he's going to bring up later, which is a very essential principle that the Baal Shem Tov taught, and that is where your thoughts are, that's where you are completely. And I have a story to tell you about that. But first, let's go on with the. I guess I'll tell you the story when we get to that. When we get to that teaching in the book itself. Now, paragraph 5. Yidabek machshavto lemala. You should bind your thoughts above. V'lo yochav lo yishte yoter midai. And you should not eat or drink more than is necessary. V'lo ya'aneg atzmo, rak lahavri atzmo. You shouldn't, eat for the purpose of, having some great, pleasure, some tremendous, orgasmic delight in chocolate cake or chocolate chip cookies. You should eat for the purpose of bringing yourself health and strength so that you can serve Hashem. Rak lavri atzmo lo yistakel klal b'inyanei ha'olam hazeh, and you should not gaze, and I'll add the word longingly, at things in this physical world. V'lo yachshov lahem klal, and you shouldn't think about them at all. Things, the things in this physical world are. This is a matter of degrees. We don't want to get ourselves desirous of the physical things. We want the spiritual things. We want the things that Hashem wants us to want, so to speak. So, okay. I'll finish this verse and then we'll understand a little bit better. Rak shishtadel b'chol inyanim kedei lahafrid et atzmo. Rather, you should strive in all matters to strip yourself of gashmiut. Not strip yourself is not exactly the right word. To cast off from yourself matters of physicality. Ki b'istakluto be'olam hazeh megashem atzmo. Because when you gaze at things in this physical world in a longing and desirous manner, you are being megashem atzmo. You are making yourself more, as we'd say in Yiddish, more grob, more physical, more coarse. Okay. The Amru Razal and our sages of blessed memory have said, Re'iyah miviyah lidei zechira v'lidei ta'ava. As our sages of blessed memory have said, seeing brings us to reflecting, which brings us to ta'ava, which brings us to desire. So, if we see something really desirous in the physical world, whether it be another person, whether it be I seem to be using this metaphor of chocolate cake a lot, but whether it be chocolate cake or anything in the physical world that we find drawing our thoughts. So these things, looking at them draws us to thinking about them and reflecting on them and how wonderful we think they are. And then that will draw us to try to acquire them. And any trying to acquire something in this physical world things that are not permitted to you, or even excessively things which are permitted to you, is not a good thing. It's not what you should be looking for, not what you should be striving for. Once again, as we discussed in previous classes, things in the physical world are important to the extent that we are miyached yichudim, that we draw down through the way in which we look at them, the way in which we relate to them, and what we do with them and towards them, as far as a mitzvah is concerned. Fulfilling a commandment relating to these things in the physical world, people or things. So when depending upon the way in which we interact with them, we bring down godliness into this world. But if we're just looking at them, desiring them for their physicality, then we are not accomplishing what we are supposed to be doing. We're not serving Hashem. We're serving ourselves. Uchsiv, and it's also written, "Be'etz hadat nechmad lemareh, v'tov lema'achal." And the tree of knowledge was desirable to the pleasant to the sight, to the vision, v'tov lema'achal, and tasty, good to eat. Shemachmat hariyah hu nechmad. And why was it? Because you see the juxtaposition of the words and the concepts. It was nechmad. It was desirable. Why? Because we saw it. We saw it, so it became desirable to us. The physicality of this thing, and that wound up causing us all a lot of trouble down throughout the centuries. Okay, we finished paragraph number 5. Hey, now we're going on to Vav 6. Yachshov shu b'nei olam ha'elyon. You should consider yourself as one of the supernal beings, so to speak, one of the an angelic, a member of the angelic or the higher community. V'lo yiyu hashuvin beinav kol bnei adam hadarim be'olam hazeh, and you shouldn't consider the physical bodies, the physical people that you come in contact with in this world as being, chashuv, as being so important. Like, if you walk along the street and you see a movie star, is this supposed to be chashuv be'enecha? Is this supposed to be important in your eyes? Obviously not. This person, whatever, they have a talent, they make money, they attract people. But this is not what we're supposed to focus ourselves on, and what we're supposed to be drawn to. We're supposed to be drawn to more refined things, more refined characteristics, etc. So, ki kol ha'olam kulo, because this whole world, hu kigargir chardal, it's like a mustard seed, neged ha'olam ha'elyon. In relation to the supernal world. Now, a mustard seed, I don't know if you're aware, but it's very, very small. So this mustard seed, in relationship to the upper worlds, is nothing. So too is our physical world like that. It is a very, very pale reflection of the higher worlds, which are the essential worlds, because they're closer to Hashem, they're closer to causality, they're closer to God. V'yeh shavab einav im yahavuhu. Well, he's really repeating something that we had discussed earlier. He's saying here, and everything. Remember that everything should be equal in your eyes. If it is, if you love it or you hate it, because your love and your hate. Oh no! I'm sorry. If what he's saying here is everything should be equivalent in your eyes. If these other people in this world, they love you, they hate you, they are ambivalent towards you, this is nothing. Because their love or hate for you is nothing. It's insignificant. your first thoughts and your focus should be that your relationship is with Hashem, with God, the Creator, and that everything comes from Him anyway. Hakol me'ito yitbarach. Everything is from Hashem. Ve'ein od milvado. And there's nothing other than Hashem. Okay. V'chein lo yashkiach klal al ta'avot gufo hamatunaf. And you shouldn't pay any attention whatsoever to your bodily desires, your filthy bodily desires. I mean, hamatunaf means literally filthy. Let me just see what the English translation in the other book is. How they translate that? Reading translation. Okay, I can't see exactly where the correspondences will continue. Shehu tzarat mashke dechavia. Because this is the pain, the tsar, the pain from the snake's skin, and this is a metaphor referring to this physical world is compared to a snake's skin, and these physical desires come from the skin of the snake, which is which is also basically the skin of the serpent who in Gan Eden. It is these desires emanate from the Yetzer Hara, which was also the Nahash, the serpent in the Gan Eden, and our focus on the what's the word? Not desires, but when you have I can't think of the word at the moment, but when you have a strong desire for a pleasure, I can't even, for some reason I can't remember the English word. However, that is what we're looking at getting away from. We're looking at getting away from the focus on these physical desires, lusts. That was the word I was trying to think of. Lust, a physical lust for something. This is what we're trying to stay away from, and focus only on holy things and constructive and positive things. Okay, Zion 7. The Ita b'Zohar. So it is written in the Zohar that let's see. I'm going to read the English here because it's more clear. It's written in the Zohar that one's will is to be like that of a pauper. Your will to accomplish whatever it is should be like that of a pauper. What? Why? Thus consider yourself like a pauper and always speak with soft and beseeching words like a pauper. Meaning, when you interact with other people, you don't do it in any kind of an aggressive, boastful kind of way. You do it, with a soft and when he says like a pauper, how does a pauper conduct himself? He conducts himself in a very humble and a very modest way. And he's humble and modest because he has so little, and he has nothing to be, overly proud of. But even a person who has very much, if he understands the nature of reality, he understands he has very little as well. That everything that he has comes from Hashem. So if he conducts himself like a pauper, he is doing a very good thing for himself and for those around him. So your thought, v'yachshov, shu ani v'yadaber tamid b'dvarim rakim v'tachnunim kamo ani. Well, that's really what I said outside. But now further. Yitboded tamid machshavato im hashchina. You should always seclude your thoughts with the Shechina, with the divine presence. Shelo yachshov rak be'avato ota tamid. You should only think about your love for her, for the Shechina, and what is the Shechina? It is the divine female aspects of God, the feminine aspects of the way in which God interacts with us. Because God is neither male nor female. God is both, has both a masculine and feminine aspects in equal measure. So, shelo yachshov rak ba'avato tamid shehi tidbach bo. So you should always think about the Shechina, and that you want to bind to the Shechina. Yomer tamid b'machshavto, and you should always say to yourself, in your mind, Matayas kesh yishkoni mi or hashchina. When am I going to merit that the light of the Shechina is going to dwell in me? So, we know that God's divine presence exists in this world. And the light of God's divine presence in this world, Hashem's divine presence in this world, will dwell with a person commensurate with their refinement and commensurate with the mitzvot that they do. Lefi ani atati, meaning according to my impoverished perspective, it would seem to me that most especially those mitzvot that we do ben adam lechavero, between people, between each other, not to Hashem, a mitzvah that Hashem wants just for a mitzvah which is between you and God, and doesn't involve other people. No, I think especially mitzvot that God gives us, that Hashem gives us, that are that relate to and involve other people. These are the ones that really refine us, I think, to the greatest extent. It would seem to me. And of course, we have to do all mitzvot, and we have to look at them all as being extraordinary and as bringing great illumination. But I think specifically the mitzvot ben adam lechavero, as I mentioned before. In any case, when will the light of the Shechina, of the divine presence, meaning not just what is a light? A light is an illumination. We feel illumination sometimes, but I think in this context, most specifically, we're talking about an illumination of inspiration from above, and an illumination which you can take and you can spread. If you have an avuka, you have a what's the English word? A torch. You have a torch. You bring it over and you light other people's torches or other people's candles. Now, what have you done? You have a net increase in light in the world when you do that, because it doesn't take anything from your light to give a light to someone else. However, it does create more and more and more light, and this is what we have to do, that we will merit the dwelling of the Shechina, the dwelling of the divine presence. We have to light. We have to light other people up. We have to light other situations up with the mitzvot and gomle chasadim. We should be givers of deeds of kindness. With this, we light up the rest of the world. Okay, so now the obvious question, number 9, the obvious question that could come up right now is, Ve'im yavo lo hirhur ta'avat olam hazeh Yarchik machshavta. What do we do? Because no matter how much you try to focus on holiness and positive things and spiritual things, sometimes your thoughts are going to stray over to non-constructive things, things which are not positive, which are not holy, etc. So what do you do when that happens? So the Baal Shem Tov says, you distance them from your thoughts. And you have to really get yourself to the point through reflecting deeply that these things, because they are ta'avot alam hazeh, these are the desires and lusts of things from this world, they're disgusting. We don't need these things. I really hate these things because they pull me away from where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be, fixing myself in the world around me. So, let's see. So, what we want to do is we want to make these things hateful to ourselves. Why? Yargil Yetzer HaTov ala Yetzer Hara v'ta'avato uvazech yachneim. Through doing this, we strengthen and what's the word? We accustom the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination within us. We allow it and get it in a regular way of having the strength within us and being the one who controls the city, so to speak. Each person is a small city, and that we have to love the positive, and yes, we have to hate the negative, but love the positive. Okay. Okay, the second part of paragraph 9, V'shelo yelo atzvut klal, but we can't ever get depressed. We can't ever get depressed or sad, or shouldn't get sad either. Keshelo yelo tavat olam hazeh, that you're not having all these, desires and lusts of this world. Elad Rabba, rather, you should, on the contrary, Yisamach me'od b'ma shehu zoche lachnia ta'avato l'shem kvod habore yitvarach. Rather, you should be extraordinarily happy that you merited to control the desires, your desires within you, your physical desires, for the sake of the glory of our blessed Creator. It's a tremendous thing when you're able to overcome all of these negative, destructive physical forces, and you're able to focus on doing Hashem's will, doing the will of our blessed Creator. Like our sages of blessed memory have written, Usmechim Yisurim, and you can be happy with tribulations, with difficulties. So, yes, it can be a difficulty dealing with these physical desires. Yet, usmechim yisurim, you will in the end be happy with these yisurim that you have overcome them. Third section of paragraph 9. Bazeh kasher lo yamshich so when you are not drawn after these physical desires, even in thought, and you really hate them, you are able to defeat, to greatly push down the klipot. And what's klipot? The word klipa is literally shell or husk. So it's a metaphor for the physical world having a surrounding kind of effect on sparks of holiness that are down here, and we need to break the klipot. We need to open the klipot and liberate the sparks of holiness. So he's saying that yachnia me'od haklipot. You can push away. You can greatly push away the klipot through this. K'mo shekatuv bezohar, like it is written in the Zohar, uvar levav de la'amshich ru'teh v'libeh batar. Okay, well there are different versions here, but basically that means a pure heart is one that will not let his will and heart be drawn after what? After the Sitra Achra. Meaning, Sitra Achra literally means the other side. Sitra means side. Achra, this is in Aramaic. Achra means the other, so it's the other side. But what does that mean? That means the side other than holiness, other than Kedusha. So we don't want ourselves to be subject to being drawn after the Sitra Achra. So we instead keep ourselves focused on the positive, on the holy and the constructive, and we develop a real hatred for. I can't think of. There are better words I could be using, I think, at this point. But I at the moment I can just think of being on a repulsion for the physical desires in this world, because really, at the end of the day, they are repulsive, and the truly desirous things are those things which are holy and which are which Hashem desires for us. So that finishes up Tes or 9. We will start the next class, number 10. I want to thank you all for coming. Any questions, comments, suggestions, please feel free to contact me at relatable@gmail.com. Also, I forget which side it is, this side or this side, but since you're listening to this on YouTube, there's a subscribe button. I would you can press the subscribe button, and then anytime we put up a new class, you will be notified of it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and God bless you.